very mini training on 5 rules to drop 10 pounds of body fat, or 20 or 30 or 40. If you literally rinse and repeat this principle, you will drop as much body fat as needed in 2025. And you probably can't see this here, but it says without doing keto, following calories, Unislim, 60-minute daily walks, 5-day a week gym routines, all that sort of bullshit that you hear online and things like that. Okay. Is this going to solve all your problems in one go? Yes, if you apply it. No, if you just watch this video and do nothing about it. Okay, so you actually have to apply each rule to get a change, but it is very simple. Fat loss is simple, it just gets overcomplicated by online people, everything like that. Okay, so I want to break it down as easy as I can. Okay, and I'm in a very, very small office, so I have to come in like this to do it, and that is why. Okay, so rule number 1 that we're going to look at: habits. And this is where most people fall down. Okay, they think that if they just get this diet plan or they just get this fitness plan, they can go away, they can get these amazing results and look absolutely insane going to Spain in May or whatever it is. Okay, and that is just not the case. Like, what you repetitively do on a daily basis influences the outcome that you get. Okay, and what I mean by this is, like, if you continuously stay up like too late at night time, or overeat, or not exercise, and all of a sudden you're going to get handed this plan on a piece of paper that tells you to go do this thing, you're not going to do it. You're not going to get a change because the habit hasn't been changed. So you need to figure out how you can change that habit. What are the biggest things that are stopping you from losing weight right now, and how you can implement new habits. Okay, so there's some very simple ways that we can do this. You want to make the habit easy and attractable. So, okay, so like, if you know that, right, I need to get my steps up. I'm a busy office worker, like me in this office right now. I sit in the office 10 hours a day, I get 2,000 steps. Well, you're going to need to make that habit easy for you and to do, and attractive to do, right? So, like, say you're living in Ireland, you're thinking, well, Killeen, it gets dark at 5 o'clock at night and it's always raining, and I live on these country roads that I can't walk on. That's not easy, that's not attractive. So how do we fix this, right? Prime example, something we've been telling a lot of our clients: walking pads. Walking pads. You can pick one up for €150, which is nothing on the grand scheme of things. And I'm left-handed, so you're going to see how bad my writing gets now. But we have to do it for the space. Walking pads, okay? Or a spin bike as well, although that could probably go a bit more. Then the line on one of the other rules: get yourself a walking pad, because you can plonk yourself in front of the TV watching Netflix for 30 or 40 minutes, mindlessly walking on this little pad, and you're going to clock up 6, 7, 8,000 steps without even realizing it. There's no energy expenditure from your behalf on it. It's not like a strenuous, intense thing, but there is an energy expenditure from a calorie standpoint and burning calories. So that is like one simple way of making it easy and attractable, right? So that's just one example. I could go on, but then the video would be too long. You need to identify what are the 3 or 4 habits that you have right now that are stopping you from achieving your goal, whether it's to do with food, sleep, stress, fitness, whatever it is. Then you need to break those habits by doing the opposite, making it look ugly or hard to do. And you need to start to build new habits by making them easy and attractable, and pair them up. So, like, one thing I'll always say to people if they're like struggling to go to the gym because it's 30 minutes one side and work 30 minutes the other side: find a gym that's right beside your working place. Bring the bag with you the night before, go to the gym, do the workout, go to work. That's making it easy, attractable. You're pairing the habit up and associating it with going to work. So they're the things that you need to have a look at. Identifying, breaking bad habits. Let's put that in there. Bad habits. Really bad writing. Breaking the bad habits and building new habits, making it easy and attractable. Okay? Rule number 2. The PCD rule. This is something that I say to everyone. If you want a successful change, you need to P, which is plan. You need to be C, which is consistent or consistency. And you need to have D, which is discipline, okay? Right? There are three things, the PCD rule, that you need. Failing to plan is planning to fail. If you do not have a plan in place and you're winging your workouts, winging when you're going to make up your prep, it's never going to get done, because all of a sudden there's going to be, oh, the shopping that has to be done, or oh, the washing that has to be done, or oh, I'm meeting my friend here, and oh, blah, 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 blah. Excuses come out. Have a plan, like you have a plan when you're in work. Stick to that plan and treat it of a high importance. Consistency. You need to be consistent. There's no point. I heard someone come to me the other day and say, I'm really struggling with my nutrition. I'm not losing weight and I'm tracking. So then I asked them, okay, well, how are you tracking? And they said, well, being honest with you, I've only fully started tracking there the last week. And I was like, so does that mean like roughly eyeballing or weighing it out? She says, well, about 5 days in a row now I've weighed and tracked everything consistently and haven't lost weight. I was like, well, of course, it's just been 5 days. There's been no consistency there at all. If you came to me and said, I've literally weighed and tracked everything that's touched my mouth for the last 30 days and nothing's dropped, then I will say, okay, we need to change something. So that's where you need to be consistent. Like there's no point in you giving 100% Monday to Friday and then scouring back 5 or 6 cans on the weekend and having a takeout, or going out for 2 or 3 meals with, brunch with the lads or the girls because you deserve it or whatever. That's just setting you back one. And I'm not telling you can't do that. Absolutely you can, and you have flexibility, but you need to have consistency. You need to be consistent 80-90% of the time. So if you're doing it 80-90% of the time Monday to Friday, but then pissing it away, for want of a better word, on Saturday and Sunday, it's going around in circles. You're not going to get that change. And that's where it leads into number 3, or D of the rule: discipline. You're going to need to be a little bit disciplined. Like absolutely you can enjoy a meal out, a few drinks out, but that's what it has to be. It can't be a starter, a mains, a dessert, and 5 glasses of wine for your meal out. Or if you're going out with your mates to the pub or for a few drinks, it has to be 4 gin and tonics or gin slimlines, not 7 gin and tonics or whatever it may be. You're going to have to say no to things. Get good at saying no, get comfortable at saying no, because otherwise you're just going to go round and round in circles. You have to have a plan, you have to be consistent, and you have to be disciplined. And this one's really been thrown out over the last 2 years, because there's loads of people online, loads of coaches online being like, oh, eat whatever you want and lose weight sort of approach. And like, you can't do that. If weight loss is the goal, you just can't do that. You have to be disciplined and consistent. Yes, you can factor in some foods that you enjoy. Yes, you can factor in a few drinks. Yes, you can factor in the odd meal out, but it has to be disciplined and you have to have a plan of attack for it, okay? Something we say to all our clients all the time. Anytime they're going away for work conferences or have a meal out with friends or family, we'll actually come up with a plan with them for that specific event. We look at the menu, we pick the option, we tell them how to approach it before and after, etc., etc. So it still allows them to enjoy it, but there's a plan in place, okay? So that's rule number 2, PCD. Rule number 3, the PVF rule, okay? And this is going to come into nutrition. If you want to be successful with your fat loss and you don't want to track calories, you've no clue what even a calorie is, and you just want to start losing weight and eating a bit better, you need to follow the PVF rule, okay? So P stands for protein, okay? V stands for volume. F stands for fiber, okay? And that's your PVF rule, right? So a lot of people, their problem is, and again, probably can link this back into this flexible dieting lifestyle or culture that's been accumulated over the last few weeks or years or years even, is that you see all these coaches saying, make this 20 ingredient, very low calorie recipe that's like this size, or just eat this protein bar, or just eat this low calorie bag of pop chips that has like 5 pop chips in it for 80 calories. The problem about that is there's no protein in them. There's very little volume in it, and there's very little fiber in this. So you're eating all these foods throughout the day to curb a craving or to keep some sort of flexibility in play, but it's not filling you up whatsoever. So you're constantly left being hungry. And by consuming more of these foods, there's calories in them. You're losing out on your calories throughout the day, and then you're left at like 8 o'clock at night, having consumed all these kind of like poorer options, lacking protein, volume, and fiber, and you're absolutely starving. Whereas what I try to do is change the narrative for clients. I'm like, you need to eat foods that are high in protein, that are going to provide a lot of volume, and high fiber foods, because all of those things are going to, protein is satiating. It's going to help from a satiety standpoint and keep you feeling satiated, not to mention the whole host of other effects it has on the body and muscle and everything like that. Volume, which is mainly going to be your fruits and your veg, by adding a lot more volume into the meals, it's going to do 2 things. A, bulk it up, so you're going to have a lot more food on the plate and you're going to feel full after. It's going to create roughage. But B, from a psychological standpoint, seeing a big plate versus a small little 500 calorie meal, It's going to be a lot more satisfying than eating the bigger plate, right? And then fiber, again, it's going to create roughage in the diet. It's going to help you feel full. So you need to start applying that with every single meal you have. And what I say is like 80-20 approach, because if you still want to have like a low calorie treat or whatever, that's fine. But like if you're eating 4 times a day, let's say breakfast, lunch, dinner, and a snack, your breakfast, lunch, dinner has to be very high in protein, very high in volume, very high in fiber, because that's going to regulate your appetite far more. So then you can still enjoy that odd snack or whatever it is, but stay full and satiated and regulate your appetite. Okay, so that's something that I would start applying in straight away. And again, that doesn't need to have any sort of calories. All you have to think about is get yourself a plate straight away. Half of that plate goes to fruit and veg. Okay, so that's going to fruit and veg with every single meal. Okay, or salads, etc. Okay, we then want to go split the other half plate into 2 quarters. Okay, so this is going to be carbs, and that's where you're going to get your main bit of fiber. You want to choose fiber dense options here, so like things like your beans, your legumes, oats, things like that. They're going to work really, really well to increase fiber levels. Potatoes are a great one as well, because they're low in calorie and they provide a lot of volume. So be adding things in like that. Quinoa, things like that, they're really, really good. And they're going to regulate appetite and energy levels. And then the other quarter is going to protein. And again, try keep it like to a lean source, like a white fish or a chicken or a turkey or something like that. If you portioned your plates out like that for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then had your snack, you're going to regulate your appetite so much more. Okay, and then when you have that nailed down, you can then look at calories and starting to introduce your calories, because they do play a really important role. But people need to nail the basics down first before looking at calories. Okay, rule number 4: steps, steps, steps. Like this will tie in massively with your habits, and like I said there, for steps, you can manipulate so much energy expenditure by increasing your step count. Okay, and a lot of people who are busy office workers, who are most of us here and who we help and give advice, you will always say, I sit down all day, I have no time to make steps. And honestly, it is the excuse that you tell yourself. Okay, and I am proof of that, because I used to tell myself that for years and years and years, and then gain 20 kilo of weight. I sit down in my office from 9 o'clock in the morning right up until 9 o'clock at night, some nights, between calls, clients, etc. Okay, I will still get on average 10 to 11,000 steps every single day. Okay, and there's simple hacks to do that, right? So A, get up earlier in the morning and get your walk in. Prioritize that. Get a 10, 15, 20 minute walk in. Get it done. Okay, B, so like early morning walk. B, if you work in an office, hopefully you might have some stand-up desks, which can work really well. If not, you want to do an every hour on the hour. So it's like an ER, every hour on the hour. And basically what you want to do there is every hour on the hour, you get up, you walk around your office, you go to the toilet, you move. Okay, even if you're getting 100 steps in over the course of 8 hours, that's an extra 800 steps that you've just got in. Okay, the one we already mentioned, walking pad, really important. Or if you're really stuck, days off, double down on your steps and increase them. Okay, so increase steps, and that'll help you bring your average up. Okay, steps are a massive one. I would highly recommend you start off with them, and don't make it like you don't have to hit this 10k magical rule. Like if you're struggling with 4k steps now, just build it up to 5k first. When you get to 5k, see can you build it up to 6k and then up to 7k. 7 to 9k for most people is an acceptable step count. Okay, last rule then, 3 35-minute workouts per week. I mean, it's such a simple one that you can include. So this is, you can tie these in with your steps as well. What I always tell people is A, find a gym close to your working space and give yourself an hour. Okay, 15 to 20 minutes for steps on the treadmill or whatever it is, and then 30 to 35 minutes to the workout. Okay, weight training. Okay, not only is that going to help you get your activity in and burn calories and get your steps up, from a physical and mental standpoint, you're going to be sharper for that day. If you're working in an office, you have a high pressure job, stress orientated, there's a lot of activities to do, and you're going in there half tired, not thinking straight, you're not getting things done, you're not being productive, right? Whereas if you can get in, do your workout first, you're 6 to 9 before you're 9 to 6, you're going to release a serious amount of endorphins, serotonin, you're going to be thinking clearer, you're going to be happier, you're going to be in a better mood, you're going to get a lot more stuff done. So that's why I always say get it done in the morning time with work, okay? But it's very simple. 3 35-minute workouts per week is going to be perfect for most people. You're talking about weight training, break it into 5 to 6 exercises that covers the whole body. So maybe a leg movement, a chest movement, a back movement, shoulder movement, 5 6 exercises. This is where my writing gets really bad. And you want to do 10 to 15 reps, 3 sets per exercise. So 3 by 10 to 15. Now that's very basic and generic, but it'll start a beginner off easily, okay? And that's what I would do there. So they are my 5 rules to drop in body fat in 2025. Identify the habits, the good ones and the bad ones. Get rid of the bad ones, start to implement the good ones. Follow the PCD rule. Plan, consistency, discipline. PVV for food, protein, volume, fiber with every single meal. Portion your plates like that. Steps, start to manipulate them. Rule number 5, 3 workouts a week. And they will not work. Rule 3, 4, 5 will not work until you have a plan in place. So you say, I plan to get into the gym Monday, Wednesday, Friday before work. You stay consistent with it. So you don't just plan it, you actually go and achieve it. And you have the discipline to do it. So when it's raining and you're tired and you don't want to get up on a Monday morning, you still go in and do it. Again, this will not work until you identify the bad habits and fix those. So you can see how it's sequenced that way. Okay, so bear that in mind. I hope that has helped people out. If anyone has any questions on it, please let me know. Give that a go and see how you get on.